Welcome to Acquired Taste Podcast. We are back. If you are a new listener, we are a history comedy podcast. Thanks for checking us out. If you're an old listener, what's going on, motherfucker?
What's happening? We missed you.
It's Dirty D.
It's Tech Daddy.
And Queen Bee.
She's back.
I'm back.
Yeah, give her a round of applause.
It's been a minute, you know?
Wait, hold on before you do it. Everybody, welcome Brandy. She's back.
That felt kind of nice.
Like you left us unsupervised for so long.
I know. Oh my gosh. The things that go on while I'm not here.
It's unhinged.
It's just chaos.
You messaged me this morning, I think, wasn't it?
It was I think it was yesterday.
Morning, yeah, because right. It was yesterday morning.
Man. I was like, I finally got around to listening to the episode, and I was like, Jesus, crime and Netley, you two. You four.
Yeah. Yeah, you just leave us to our own devices, really, and here we are.
We had a good time.
That's what, when the bee's away.
It's like when we got back from Greenbush, Brandy was like, I'm going home, and Ben was like, all right.
It takes a drag off of fucking this vape. Like, excellent.
I was like, I was leaving, because I had like stuff to do, and I was like, God, I wonder if I should have stayed. I should have just made sure things stay on the rails.
Yeah, it didn't get too crazy. It was fun. It was a good time.
It was entertaining. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really fun one.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it was good times. We, of course, love having Ben and John on, and apparently the audience does too, because those episodes usually do pretty well.
Yeah, they really do.
So that's always fun to see. Not only the interaction, but just like the amount of people listening to those episodes just spike real quick. It's
they are fan favorites for sure.
They really are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they'll be back on soon. Everybody, don't worry. But for now, you're dealing with us again. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Just us.
Yep. So what's the question for the day, man? What we got going on?
Yeah, so I don't remember what day this was. I had like some time during the day. I think it was like a Saturday I had off. And I was like, I'm going to go to like fucking Target or some shit like that, Buy some new,
Target.
Some new bed sheets or some shit.
Love Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just peruse around,
Mm-hmm.
And I still see when I go out, like whenever it's like a really hot day, I always see like middle-aged white dudes wearing plaid shorts. What's your guys' opinion on plaid shorts?
I mean, back in like the early 2000s, I owned a pair.
Yeah, I feel like
because that was a style back then. Like I have like a black and gray plaid pair of shorts.
When we were in high school, like all the guys had these like plaid, either just shorts or like maybe cargo shorts.
Yeah,
and then they would wear like the pastel polo.
Yeah, fucking like Abercrombie had like a summer sale.
Well, like I was a dirty ass like skateboard dude. So like I had mine were like black and gray, and like I wore like some like band t-shirt, like a black band t-shirt or something, and then like my fat like DCs or some shit.
So you were like that type of plaid short, and then there was like the other type.
Yeah, there was two types. Yeah, I was the other side of that.
Yeah. See, that's a valid point, because like nowadays I still see it, and it's always like I can't call the age, but is
it like our age?
From 30 to 40,
because I feel like they're carryovers. They're like, oh yeah, when I was in high school, this shit pulled in the bitches.
It is not flattering at all.
No, the guys that I knew in high school who wore shit like that, like we avoided them.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's always like plaid shorts and sandals and like. Like any kind of conditions.
So there's also another variant to that we haven't mentioned actually. It's the fucking dorks that wear that shit, because they'll have like the plaid on with the cargo and like some like usually oversized shirt, probably tucked in.
Oh yeah,
with socks and sandals.
Yeah, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is so random. I was looking at stock photos the other day for something for work, and one of them was like a barbecue image of like a backyard barbecue. And there was a guy in the background of the stock photo that had on a plaid shirt and different colored plaid shorts. They did not match. Like plaid on plaid, non-matching plaid.
Jesus, just walking around like an optical illusion.
It was the weirdest thing to see in a stock photo. I was like, what is this?
Shitty urban camouflage right there.
Whereas there's Spaceball, it's like, we've gone plaid. Holy shit.
Oh man, that's something.
How to camouflage yourself in a Target?
Yeah, because it's like either you were really, really lazy and you were just like, let me throw this on, or B, like you strategically planned that.
Some strategery.
Or what if you're just like, you really don't know and you're like, this is plaid. This is also plaid. That matches, right?
Why wouldn't I do this?
And then and they're probably married. Their wives left them out the house looking like that.
And it's
yeah.
usually like a married couple too. It's like a dude with
They're both wearing plaid.
everyone's got plaid on.
I don't know why, but I just felt like they go to a non-denominational church.
That's like the guy you see at a music festival with sandals, like standing in like close to the mosh pit with the plaid shorts, drinking a Budweiser.
So like Greg in 20 years.
Could be.
Or like the guys who wear those like newsboy hats.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a very specific type of fashion.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a bold choice.
That is a bold choice.
So
in 2023.
it's a choice.
It really is. Yeah, if you're rocking plaid shorts, you need to grow up. You need to just grow up.
Get a fucking life.
Let it go. No one's still wearing their Jenkos. Nobody's still wearing the FUBU or the Pacos. Or
Actually, Jenkos are coming back, dude.
are they?
Yes, they're back. They have a website again.
Wow.
They also cost a lot of money.
I feel like because Jenko is like 90s fashion and 90s fashion is having a resurgence
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
big comeback right now.
So I think,
I
that's
hope to
kinda-
God in 10 years it doesn't circle back to the plaid.
I'm just praying
Oh,
to
dude.
God because people have been saying for the past like year or so that like low rise jeans are coming back in style. And I'm just praying to God that doesn't actually happen because I
Yeah.
hated low rise jeans.
I thought they always looked kind of frumpy.
Oh God, they're awful.
I also use the term frumpy on the podcast. There we go. You're all welcome. One of the things that I noticed that's coming back fashion wise, because which doesn't bother me, like the Hoochie Daddy shorts, like the high.
The short shorts.
Yeah.
Who was I talking
coming
to
back.
about this?
Because I actually own a pair,
I was
and they're
just
great.
talking to somebody about this. I was like, those guys, they're wearing the little shorty shorts again, and I fucking love it. I
Oh, yeah.
love when dudes wear those little short shorts.
Like I have, and
It's
they're
my
like
favorite.
they're the same material as these sweats actually. So like they're super fucking comfy, but they're shorter than shit. And I wear them, and I don't care at all. Like they're great too. So I'm
Hell
out there
yeah.
trying to find me a baby mama. What's up?
Get them a size too small, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's the point. You know, I'll put the feelers out there. Put out the welcome mat,
Yeah.
if it will. It's filthy, but like that's coming back.
I love it. I love that.
I think it's great.
I like the short shorts way better than those like below the knee, weird ass, baggy looking
Like
bullshit.
I don't skip
Yeah.
leg day, and I want everybody to know it. You know, you know what I'm
Show
saying?
off them calves,
You know, got to
boy.
throw off a little that low to mid thigh.
Yeah, say you're serving yams today.
Yeah, that's what's for dinner. It's what's for dinner every day.
It's on the menu.
There's that, and then there's like the mid cut shirts that are starting to make a comeback from the 80s for dudes.
Yeah.
Like-
I got a couple man crop tops.
Yeah, I'm not
got
in that kind of shape for that.
That's
legs-
my
yeah.
problem.
Legs
yeah.
look great,
I'm not trying to wear a
but
crop
the
top.
midsection there,
Yeah.
that's a miss. That's a swing and a miss. Strike one.
Yeah, you can't be hanging out like that unless you're like already like bald and rocking a mullet and already gave up. Like you don't give a fuck.
Or if you're like in good shape and just showing off a little that mid ab,
Yeah.
that mid ab area.
Just get like a mesh shirt to wear underneath it.
Oh yeah.
I can actually picture you wearing that, dude. You should get on that.
Yeah, fuck with all that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Get some short shorts and throw on a little mesh shirt.
Yeah, usually I always wear shorts when I play and they're
Right.
always like and like back in the day I didn't even wear that. Like I used to just
Well-
play in my fucking underwear.
Dude, I remember you used to wear your ex-girlfriend's shorts when you played.
Yeah, dude. I was like
Like
really
it was
get them shorts
literally
on.
like a centimeter from a ball
Yeah,
slippage.
bro. I've been rocking them short shorts for a hot minute.
It's true.
So I'm absolutely excited for it. And crop tops crept its way like 2 years ago because I was
Yeah.
like, not only is this cool for me and y'all visually, but it feels really good. Got a little
Little
extra breeze.
breeze.
I remember that
More
was
hair
such
coming in,
that was
you
such
know?
a thing when we were in like middle school because that was kind of when like emo was starting to become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were just these guys who wanted to wear skinnier like pants. They wanted to wear skinnier
yeah.
jeans and that wasn't really available for boys yet. So they would
yeah.
just buy girl jeans and then everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you're wearing girl jeans."
Oh yeah, checking the tags. Oh yeah, you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but they
always
just
tell.
liked it the way it looked, and it looked fine, and it was a style, and it's like whatever. Let them wear their girl jeans.
Yeah,
Who gives a shit? It's
I remember
pants.
that phase. I remember like
People got so mad.
there was like the transition in the metal scene where like hardcore kids and metal kids were meshing together, but then the skinny jeans was coming out, and that was like painting a fucking target on your back
Do you
at
remember
those shows.
Do you remember the term guy liner?
I do not.
Oh, I do.
Wow.
I definitely do. For example, Johnny Depp has it purposely tattooed on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So that was a thing. Oh wow, that just took a little turn there.
No, right? I just
we
unlocked
just-
a core memory.
Oh, I never did it, but yeah, I do remember it.
Yeah, it was a thing that, like, kids would get made fun of. Like, oh, you're wearing guyliner.
Yeah. Yeah. At the high school I went to, it really wasn't that many kids doing that. It was mainly like either jockey kids or ghetto kids.
Mm-hmm.
There was a very small gray area in between.
Yeah, I went to the school that I went to didn't have a large variation either. So there were a couple of kids who had a little bit of an alternative style, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I was able to like kind of fall into mine when I got to college because I mean, where I went to school, we had a dress code anyway, so we really couldn't go outside of that boundary. You know,
It's a bummer. Right
very, very sucked. Anywho, now that that's over with, that traumatic experience of my life, what do we got going on today, guys? What's the happy haps?
Yeah, today's going to be a cool one. Brandy, since you've been gone so long.
Yeah,
Yeah, B actually did pick this topic.
I did.
So you want to take us through it? You want to dive on in?
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the history of Hawaii. Mainly because, well, obviously because Hawaii is wonderful and beautiful and a fantastic place, but the fires that recently happened in Maui, especially the town of Lahaina, which got absolutely demolished, which sucks.
Yeah, those before and afters are wild.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's so bad. And I was lucky enough to get to travel to Hawaii several years ago, probably about 10 years ago now. And we stayed in Lahaina. And it was beautiful. The culture was amazing. The people were amazing. And I got to see all of these really awesome landmarks. I got to see, the banyan tree. And I got to meet a lot of really cool people. And I got to walk down Front Street and Whalers Village and all these different places, and it's all gone. Like all of the places that we stayed and places that we ate at and places that we like kind of loved while we were there is just gone. So it was really, really wild to see all of that footage. So I thought we would talk a little bit about Hawaii and the history of Hawaii and how the United States just kind of yoinked it. From
So you mean they manifest destiny an island? Is what you're telling me.
I mean, yeah.
We retrograded
That's-
some Mercuries and
That sounds right. It's like, hey, who lives over there? Like they open up a chart. It's like they open up like a pie chart. It's like, who lives over there? Non-whites.
It's like a color scale,
Right.
and they take a picture of like a native and they're dragging it along the color scale.
It's like, yep, not white. That means we can. That means they need Christianity. Apparently, let's go ahead and fuck with them real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how it started, was missionaries.
Which reminds me, actually, we had a whole episode about something that happened with Hawaii. We completely butchered that pronunciation for an entire episode.
Oh, we did.
Can you fix that for us?
Correct. Yes. So, and I'll kind of segue into that with
Yeah, we're gonna need to.
the 8 main islands. Okay, so Hawaii is actually made up of a crap ton of islands. It's like over 100 islands.
Okay.
But the main islands, there's 8 of them, and one of them is called one of them is called Niihau.
Oh.
And you guys are saying Nihao, and it's Niihau.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, so we bungled that one up.
Yeah.
My bad. Our bad, Hawaii.
That's our bad. I'm man enough to admit that.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, Hawaiian pronunciations are not easy. You guys are going to probably hear me butcher a lot of them.
Just don't summon any
in-
more ghosts in my house.
Yeah, the Hawaiian ghosts are going to
This
come
is a fucking ghost hotel at this point, my friend.
At this point, it really is.
Yeah.
So the 8 main islands are Niihau, Hawaii, Oahu, Molokaʻe, Lanai. This is the hard one. Kaho'olave.
I like how you said that was a hard one when they were all been difficult. Thanks for making us feel bad.
Yeah. Kaho'olave, Maui, and Hawaii is the big island.
Okay.
So those are the 4 main islands. Like you were saying, Aaron, basically like missionaries came in and fucked everything up. Before that, it was each Hawaiian island had their own chief and they were kind of just chilling, doing their own thing. And then King Kamehameha the First came in and like conquered all the other islands. So he united the entire archipelago of Hawaii.
All right.
And then it kind of became a kingdom after that. And then missionaries came in. Actually, this one guy came in first. What was his name? Captain Cook. Captain James Cook.
Oh, JC?
Yeah. He came in and he was like, he landed. And of course, he didn't see anyone there who was white. So he was like, all right, mine.
Right. Like nobody important lives here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. And not only did he say mine, he said mine, Sandwich Islands.
What the hell?
God damn it.
I know. And the natives were like, excuse you? And they killed him.
That's why I was putting my eyes on. Like, wait a minute, I feel like I know how this story ends.
Yeah. No, they
It's
killed
like
him.
what happened in Africa when a Spaniard was trying to round Africa to get to India, and he stopped. There was a storm and he stopped and he put up like a cross and some other shit on land, and he was like, yeah, we gotta look for some resource, we need more spots to finish our voids. Yeah, he found the native Africans. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? And they killed him.
Yeah.
Should have kept doing that. The world would be a little different. But anyways, I'm joking, kind of, not really.
You gotta hit it with the drum thing so they know it's real.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, my bad. There we go.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So yeah, he came in, he gave everybody a bunch of smallpox, and they, killed him.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
And so after that,
Basil.
King Kamehameha ruled, and then his kid ruled, and then his kid ruled, and whatever. And there was like King Kamehameha the 47th or some shit. I don't know.
That's a lot of them.
It wasn't that many. I don't know.
But why do Europeans do that all the time? They just show up and they're like, here's God and cancer.
Yeah, God and smallpox.
And they just
Well, I mean,
fucking-
that's a question we should answer in another podcast episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to that. Because essentially they thought that religion-wise, their Jesus or their God was the best, and they wanted to spread it to everybody else. I'm using air quotes a lot, by the way, right now, so you guys can see
This
it.
is what white people do.
That's what they've done throughout all of history.
That's what they've been doing.
Like, you can't, I dare you to name a culture that Western Europe didn't fuck up at one point. Anyways.
So yeah.
Moving on.
Then Hawaii became kind of like an agricultural hub for sugar plantations. And the descendants of these missionaries that came, so the missionaries were fine. Like they came in, they did some good things for Hawaii. So like one of the things that they did was they helped them develop a written language. So they helped them develop an alphabet, a Hawaiian alphabet, and then a written language. And they were able to preserve a lot of the oral history of Hawaii. So they wrote down a lot of their history. They were able to preserve it that way.
All right.
But then they also like tried to erase a lot of their culture. So they did shitty things too. But
yeah.
So
All right.
so then their descendants, so the descendants of these white missionaries, they are local Hawaiians. They live there. They were born there. They were raised there, but they're non-native. They're white still,
Yeah.
They don't have ancestry there, essentially. So what they did, they were like, okay, this place is great. We love it here. There's tons of money to be made with sugar plantations. This is awesome. What would be really great is if we could import or export sugar to the mainland of the United States, like for free. Like that would be cool. How do we do that?
How do we cut all costs?
Yeah.
Right.
So they basically wanted to overthrow the Hawaiian kingdom so they could be annexed by the United States.
Dick move.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yeah.
Dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the arrival of missionaries in the early 19th century had a profound impact on society, culture, education, the growth of the sugar industry. to address like labor shortages. So they need a lot of people to come work at these sugar plantations. So
to
they
work,
to
quote
work,
unquote.
work at these sugar plantations. So people started like people coming in from Asian countries and other Polynesian countries and Australia and all these different places. And that was kind of how Hawaii became so diverse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Were they like cutting deals with these people? They were just like, we'll fucking take you over here. Don't worry about what you did.
Well, is it one of those? Yeah. Are they like? Yeah. Were they like lesser good people, or were they?
To the plantation owners, yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they were at least paid.
I think, yeah, they weren't slaves. They were low paid. They were a lot, and that's like a big thing was these plantation owners, they wanted like full control over the islands, so they made it. They basically forced the king at the time to sign this thing called the Bayonet Constitution, which is called the Bayonet Constitution because they literally held bayonets to his head and they were like, sign this, bitch. And he was like, yeah, okay. And basically it removed all of the power from the monarchy and gave all of the power to the plantation owners. So they're like, okay, you can vote for local government, but only if you own land, only if you own a certain amount of land. And all of the natives, like, they didn't own land in Hawaii. Like, it wasn't like a thing. Owning land really wasn't much of a thing. It was like, we all share it. It's our land. It's our island.
Yeah.
Right.
But then plantation owners came in and they were like, nope, mine. You don't own anything. You can't vote. Sorry.
It sounds reminiscent of South Africa.
Yeah.
Actually. Really reminiscent of that. What year was this?
This was
1887, I think that is.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
Yeah. So
The reason I was wondering is because like when you're talking about sugar plantations, my first thought is the Caribbean.
oh yeah.
And so I was looking up like so the freedom was given to those slaves in the Caribbean in the 1830s. That's why I was wondering like where we're at time frame wise.
Yeah, this was like end of the 1800s was when the monarchy was like finally overthrown, was 1893, I think.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So the last queen of Hawaii, the first and last, I guess, queen of Hawaii, Queen, did I say her name again?
Oh yeah, that's a doozy right there.
Liliuokalani. Sorry.
All
Liliuokalani.
right.
There
Right
it is. Liliuokalani. Queen Liliuokalani. She was queen when the monarchy was overthrown. There was basically like a committee formed, I guess, and it was, oh gosh, what was it called? The Committee of Safety, I think. And the guy who ran the committee was Sanford Dole. Dole?
Like the Dole, like
the
company?
pineapples?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Suspicious.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. So, which pineapples actually aren't even native to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, but anyway. So yeah, they basically were like, okay, we're overthrowing your government. And she was like, no, you and what army? And then they're like, actually. The United States Army of America.
Right.
And she's like, oh, well, shit.
It says they even had the USS Boston like posted up at their shores.
Yeah.
Like they had a big ass like warboat like.
Yeah, they basically
Right
had a coup and completely overthrew her. And who was the president at the time? Was it Grover Cleveland?
President William McKinley.
McKinley. Okay. I think he was like talking to the military about it, and he was like, "Don't do that." He was like, "That's a sovereign nation. Don't do that." And they did it anyway. And he was like, "Well, okay, since you already did it." Yeah.
Wow.
So she was really cool though. She fought really, really hard for her people, and the entire time she was queen, she was trying to get power back that they had lost to the, this Bayonet Constitution. She drafted a new constitution. She proposed it. She even took it to mainland United States and tried to get the land back. She was also a really talented composer and like songwriter,
All right.
which is cool.
Right
she
on.
wrote Aloha Oe, if you guys have heard of that. This
Yeah, I've
is
heard it.
like Aloha Oe, Aloha Oe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that she wrote that. And that's kind of synonymous with Hawaii and Hawaiian culture.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it slaps
That's
still.
pretty tight. Yeah, still slaps.
Still slaps.
It's a bop.
It's a bop.
Yeah.
Bop. So yeah. So after, you know, the monarchy was overthrown, you know, Hawaii was annexed and, you know, Pearl Harbor happened in there somewhere.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, Hawaii was annexed. Hawaii was, you know, made into a state in 1959. So, yeah, they were U.S. territory for a while. While they were a U.S. territory, Pearl Harbor happened, and I think like Hawaii was kind of like, "Hey, we're really important here," you know.
Yeah, the
Like,
population was growing.
yeah.
They were just getting. They had the pineapple deal with Dole, all the sugar factories. They were getting a lot of employees.
Yeah, and they're like, "We, you know, what are we?"
Yeah, and like,
is this a real thing? Are we going to do this or what?
I looked that
You know?
up too. Some of those workers that had come, a lot of those people were people that weren't accepted at other countries for some reason, couldn't get the proper paperwork or whatever. So Hawaii was just like,
Come on in.
Come on, we'll take you.
what paperwork? Come on,
I mean,
we got pineapples over here. Come on, let's get to work.
We got sugar. We got pineapples.
I feel like it would be a shitty job, but in paradise.
Right?
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like if I'm working a 12-hour fucking day on like Maui, like
Yeah.
okay,
all right, okay,
yeah, we're 12-hour days now. Like,
Like, do you want to harvest peaches in somewhere in Georgia, or do you want to harvest pineapples in paradise?
yeah, I'm gonna go with the paradise option. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's hot as balls in Georgia.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There's no ocean.
right? Just
it's good music out there.
mosquitoes and humidity.
Mosquitoes. It's too close to Florida.
Yeah, you have that.
Yeah. So
Strip clubs.
yeah. So after Hawaii was made into a state, tourism kind of exploded, like
Sure.
absolutely exploded. And then the culture that these, you know, missionaries and then the you know, people coming in, they've been trying to erase their culture for years and years and years. Oh, now you guys like it. Now all of a sudden we're okay with the culture. Now that you got people coming here wanting to lay, wanting to do the hula, now you're okay with it. Oh, okay. We get it. We get it. We get it. We see how it is. So it's basically like becomes commodified, their culture. It gets turned into what?
Oh, nothing. I was nothing. Anyways,
You just look really confused for a second.
it was work stuff.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it's fine.
So it was tourism exploded, and there was this big resurgence of Hawaiian culture. Hawaiian kind of became stereotyped a little bit for a while, you know. And Brady Bunch Goes to Hawaii movie.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Hawaii also has like I don't know if it's like it's what I hear is one of the best observatories. You know, like to view the stars.
I can see that. I mean, they have mountains and
Yeah, 'cause,
not a
like-
lot of light pollution, so
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Mauna, is that how you say it? Mauna Kai Observatory. Yeah, and that's
Is it Mauna?
Mauna. Yeah,
There we go.
Mauna.
This is why we need to be here.
Yeah,
You know, to correct our terrible pronunciations.
I try.
It's just the laziness
know.
with which we do
I
these
still get
things.
stuff wrong, but
Yeah, but at least you put a little effort into it.
yeah, a little.
It's like we're at a Mexican restaurant. We want to order tortillas.
Yeah.
tortillas,
I need some tortillas
a quesadilla.
and for my quesadillas
How's the fajita?
and the chicken vagina. Yep, and demonetized before we even get there. There goes the rest of it. Damn it.
It's funny.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So that kind of brings us a little bit closer to where we are now. Hawaii still has a lot of problems. There's one of the main problems in Hawaii is that natives are kind of getting priced out of their own land, essentially. rich people are coming in, buying land, driving up housing prices. Native people who've lived there for centuries can't afford to live there anymore. There's a huge homelessness problem in Hawaii. That really sucks. A lot of the homeless are natives.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. And a lot of Native Hawaiians are actively campaigning against statehood still. Like, a lot of them don't even really consider themselves Americans. Like, they're Hawaiian and that's all they have ever wanted to be.
Sure.
They were a sovereign nation that was overthrown essentially, and they are still holding on to their culture. They're still holding on to the fact that they want to be in an independent nation again.
Yeah, it says here it wasn't even until the 80s that Hawaii couldn't even get like some of its like parks considered like national state parks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wouldn't even be listed. Like it was not even until the 80s. It wasn't even until 93 that Bill Clinton apologized.
Yeah. He signed a formal apology for overthrowing their nation.
Jeez, that's some long distance white guilt right there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Yeah. There was also a thing that I was reading about where there is a section of land in Hawaii that is not America. It's like not owned by the U.S. government. It's like the only like official Hawaiian land.
Oh, wow.
And it was a space that like a group of Native Hawaiians occupied in protest. And then the government basically like offered to lease them the land in return for them ending the occupation.
Yeah.
So,
see, that makes me wonder because you were saying like a lot of the natives technically they didn't own anything, and then all these people started coming in and being like, "This is mine, this is mine." So now there's paperwork attached. But then there was probably some natives who have just like generations of family who lived there without actually owning the property.
yeah.
So like you can say like even these fires right now, like a lot of these people that have lost their homes probably don't even own like what exactly is being lost. So I wonder if that's like something that's just going to get like...
That's something that's actually going on right now is a lot of the landlords and people who do own these properties, they've had a lot of Native people renting on their properties for a long time, but now they've got big real estate investors coming in and offering them huge amounts of money for this land. And they're like, well, sorry, I'm going to take the money. And because they're not living there, they don't, it's the Native people who live there. They're just evicting them. They're kicking them all out.
They're just fucking fuck them. I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at that point.
So, it's unfortunately looking like because of these fires, a lot of Native people who have lived there for generations are probably not going to get to go back.
Damn.
Which super sucks. But
yeah, I mean, you were literally born and raised in a paradise, and now you have to come to the mainland. Sucks here.
Yeah, because some dumb white people came in.
Well, and that's the other part of it, like how the fire actually started.
Yeah. So let's talk about the fires for a minute. So supposedly, I know that there's a lot of conspiracies going on about it. It was a space laser or whatever, but
yeah.
Actually, the way that the fire started was Hawaiian Electric, this electric company on Maui. They had been kind of slacking on their maintenance of their power lines and their facilities for a long time. And because tourism, the tourism industry in Hawaii has basically outpaced the agricultural industry.
Okay.
A lot of water resources are getting diverted toward hotels and luxury apartments and, kind of the tourism areas along the coast.
Okay.
That left the, inner lands where all this agriculture was dry. There's a lot of brush. There's a lot of overgrown plants and vegetation, not a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
A hurricane was coming on August 9th, right? What comes with hurricanes? Wind.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's hurricane's coming. It's a windy night. Some of this really dry brush and vegetation starts getting blown into these power lines that haven't been maintained in a long time. And I guess it happened several places all over the island. There were these, trees hitting power lines, and then there was an explosion and started a fire. There was one guy on TikTok who, I guess it happened near his house. One of them happened near his house.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire department came and they put it out. And then a couple miles later, it happened again. So it was just kind of a thing that was happening, unfortunately, that night, a chain of events. And it was also another unfortunate chain of events that because of the hurricane, the local government decided not to, there was like alarms, like the alarms around the island.
Yeah.
Sure.
The local government decided not to sound the alarms because they were thinking that, everyone knew that there was a hurricane coming.
Okay.
So they would think that it was a tsunami. They wouldn't know that it was a fire. They would think it was a tsunami. And people would try to head to higher ground up into the center of the island, up the mountains, which was where the fire was. So the local government was afraid that people would head toward the fire, not knowing what's going on.
Okay.
What? You look confused.
No. I mean, I understand how fire works and how the emergency system could confuse people.
Guess they could've
But at the same time,
roadblocks,
we have emergency fucking alerts on our phone all the time.
I know, and that was another thing was like people. So basically, the emergency alarms and sirens are to signal people to look at their phones and look at the news and turn on the radio to find out what's going on.
Right.
But I don't know. The local government's reasoning was that they didn't want people to panic and start heading inland.
Send it to your phone. Like literally, your phone won't shut the fuck up when it goes there.
I know. Well,
I've tried to turn it off.
I know. I
It
mean,
doesn't work.
there are a lot of like I said, there's a lot of homeless people, so maybe they don't have phones. I don't know. I don't know why they made these decisions. That was their justification. Whatever.
I can almost
There were
guarantee if
bad
you see a group of
decisions
people
made.
walking in a direction like, where are you guys going?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a fire behind
I
us.
know.
Oh, I should probably go with these people.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What was the electric company called?
Hawaiian Electric. I
Hawaiian
think.
Electric.
Another thing was
It's just a series
the
of
local
failures.
the local government didn't so they had water reserves.
Sure.
They didn't allow the fire department to access those water reserves because they were afraid that it would take water away from these like local farmers who had these water reserves and needed them. Again, because water had been diverted to like the touristy areas. And so the farmers didn't have a lot of water. And so the government didn't want the fire department to take the water from the farmers. So they were like, oh, only use it if you really, really need it. Like they didn't give them permission until last minute to access these water reserves.
Okay. So now this is coming from a place of ignorance because I have no idea. Salt water can put out fires too, right?
I don't know, man. I guess
Like,
I thought I
so
would think.
why would you have a fresh water reserve for a fire department if you have a fucking ocean surrounding you?
Yeah, but like,
Oh yeah.
like you can't just like run a hose from the ocean like hundreds of miles up a mountain.
Get a pump. Anyways, but no, that's
So
what
I guess
what I'm saying.
that
Like,
kind of makes sense. So
but
like,
you could have a water reserve of salt water if you just use it to put out a fire.
I mean, yeah, you would think, but the reserves weren't for fire purposes; they were for agricultural purposes.
I'm just going to throw this out there. The two number one shareholders for Hawaiian Electric are the Vanguard and BlackRock.
Oh, gee, what a surprise!
What a fucking surprise.
All right.
No.
They own quite a large amount too.
Yeah, I mean those.
Significantly larger than the others.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
What don't they own?
Right. That's
honestly?
what I was about to say. Like, what don't
Honestly.
they have?
Yeah, because I remember seeing pictures of some of the brush that was around these power lines, and it's typical for like most states. Like you got to have like 10-foot clearance of those fucking things, and they got guys out like 3 times a week that do that, like whether there's a fucking storm or not, you know. So I don't know, things to think about, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Because I don't know. I
was-
imagine stuff like that would still be maintenance, and even if it's to a point where
there were several people, and I've seen this multiple sources. There were several people who had contacted Hawaiian Electric about these. There were low hanging power lines, and there was vegetation that was too close to the power lines. There was a guy who said that there were loose power lines like hitting the side of his house, and he tried to call Hawaiian Electric, and they
Holy
like
shit.
ignored him for weeks.
wow.
So
That sounds like NIPSCO out here.
I
though.
know, right? I was gonna say, sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, getting paid fucking
So,
double time.
Yeah, it was basically just like a series of absolute failures
Yeah.
on all levels at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the fire spread so quickly and so rapidly because of the earthquake, because of the hurricane winds, that a lot of people were not able to escape. Like, there was one guy that they interviewed talking about it, and he said that he saw the flames, like several hundred yards away from his house, and he went inside to go get his family. By the time his family had gotten out of their house into the car, the flames were at his back door.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I remember seeing an interview of one of the guys who was like there was so much heavy ash that it landed on top of the water that it was able to catch fire. So the water had a layer of fire on top of it. And he was like, there was motherfuckers like who got to the shore and were like, well, we got to jump in, like to get to the boats that were, helping people out.
Yeah.
And like, that's the scariest shit ever right there, man.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who jumped into the ocean because they didn't have a choice. It was either stay on land where the fire was getting closer and closer to you. There was no path for them to escape.
Yeah, it's like sharks.
Or jump into the ocean.
Fire.
And I do know, that like almost immediately they had Coast Guard out trying to help people, because I was watching TikToks that night while it was happening, and there was a person live streaming him and his family in the ocean, and they were just waiting. They were just waiting there, and he was filming. And they were talking, and you could hear them talking about the Coast Guard ship that was coming, and you could see the ship in the background, and the Coast Guard was coming, fishing people out of the water. Okay. So there was a Coast Guard presence, like almost immediately.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good for the Coast Guard. Excuse me. The thing that I've heard the most about this was just a lack of U.S. assistance with this. And so I decided to run some quick numbers. Now, granted, I didn't look into this until just this moment, so forgive me if I'm a little bit off here. But it's just one of those things where it's another Louisiana incident where the United States really didn't do shit again. So I'm like, okay, well, what is the United States doing to help these people? Like, what are they doing to help the people of Hawaii, find new homes and rebuild and blah blah blah. So I'm just looking like, okay, well, how much money did they send just to help fix this problem, right? So the only thing I've found so far, now again, I can keep digging into this, and again, this is just coming off just a basic Google search. There was $95 million announced to replace and then rebuild Hawaii's power grid, right?
Yeah, sounds like they need it.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing, though. Like, I don't really see anything going on about the people, though, and that's what I'm trying to find. So then, just for fucking jokes, because I know it's a fucking joke, just how much money did we send to Ukraine?
I just looked that number up. It's quite large.
It's hilariously large.
It's quite large.
We sent them $75 billion to Ukraine.
It's quite large.
That's not the United States. That's not the 51st state, is it? Did I miss that?
Because
did I miss them? Did we add Ukraine to the United States?
You wonder why they don't want to be a state. You wonder why they want their sovereignty back. Yeah,
it's a fucking joke what we do in this. Whatever we do, what our politicians do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start on a soapbox. I wish Ben was here. I feel like I need to borrow his beard for this fucking thing.
And here's the crazy thing, man. If you break down that 76 billion, like 23 billion of it is weapons. 18 is security.
Right.
A very small percentage. Humanitarian is like a 3% of that.
Yeah, and that's what's really fucked up about it.
Because that's what benefits the United States.
Oh yeah, we're doing great over there.
It's not about the people. It's not about, the fact that these people are having their country taken over. It's the fact that, what does this mean for the United States if Russia is able to get away with this? What does this mean for our future? Not what does it mean for the people of Ukraine?
No,
we don't really care about
and honestly, most of that money's being embezzled anyways. I guarantee, there's a few Lambos rolling around over there right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Fucking dicks.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's just something that that will always bother me, because, again, this is one of those humanitarian efforts that could happen inside of our country that's completely glossed over.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Flint, Michigan. We've had
Flint.
Oh, let's not forget. We have, of course, what happened with the hurricanes and everything. What happened in Louisiana? That's I think they're.
That catastrophic failure that Louisiana never recovered from.
Right. That's still fucked. Half of it's still fucked up down there. And now we have Hawaii. That's now, another.
Well, you know what, though? I think Hawaii is going to recover better than Louisiana. And I'll tell you why. Louisiana was mainly poor people.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. It was a low income area.
Sure.
And, New Orleans had a few rich people who lived there, but it was mostly poor people. Hawaii has a lot of wealthy landowners
Sure.
that own a lot of property
Sure.
and are willing to probably put the money in to rebuild Hawaii. Whereas I don't think Louisiana had that.
That reminded me. Remember the commercial was Mike Myers and Kanye West, and they were like doing a thing.
God,
Yes.
That
They
was
were
like
doing-
the Grammys or something. What was
it was something for like a really fun.
Oh, it was a really it was like a
for-
fundraiser for Katrina.
Yeah, for Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, right.
Oh my God!
And the
I forgot about
iconic
that.
line from Kanye West.
Mike Myers' face.
George Bush does not care about black people. And he just stood there staring at the camera. And Mike Myers is sitting there like,
Fuck, I remember that now.
His
Holy
face.
shit.
He did not know what to do.
it was so great.
Remember when that was like Kanye's biggest like freak out?
Yeah, right back then. Right. The simpler times. It was much
The
simpler
simpler
back then.
times. The first little hint that Kanye was unhinged.
Oh, good times. Good fucking times. But yeah, it's just the thing that I want, that's why I brought that up, is because I just wanted to bring up just monetarily how much the United States government does not give a fuck about its people.
Yeah.
And it's been
for real.
proven time and time again.
Yeah, that's like we talked about the last episode, man. War is money.
Oh yeah, a
you
lot of
know,
it.
And like John was saying, you know, if you could cut like 80% of like military spending and you wouldn't
Even notice it.
You wouldn't even notice.
No,
Wouldn't even fucking notice.
Not at all.
Any kind of change.
not at all. It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Got our priorities a little backwards, as per usual.
A little bit.
A little bit. So anyways,
Yeah. So anyway, a couple of things that I want to talk about that were unfortunately ruined by the Lahaina fires.
Mhm.
So a 200-year-old church, the Waiiola Church. I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. It was a church where a lot of royalty was buried. So Lahaina was actually the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom before, before it was taken over. Lahaina was where also, before it was even a kingdom, all of the chiefs from the neighboring islands would gather. They would gather in Lahaina. So it's kind of always been a very sacred place.
sure, sounds like it.
And this church was over 200 years old. It's where a lot of Hawaiian royalty was buried in a graveyard next to this church. The church burned to the ground, unfortunately. The banyan tree, which was very, very important to a lot of people. We actually got to see that when we were there, and it was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. It is the oldest tree, or oldest banyan tree in the country. It's the largest banyan tree in the country. And it was a gift from the missionaries when they came over to, they, I guess, brought it from India, brought it to Hawaii as a gift to the local people.
Right on.
And it's kind of been a cultural meeting place. They have markets in Banyan Court, all the time. It's very significant to Lahaina. And it was severely, severely damaged. Like, they're thinking it might live because it's still there.
Okay.
But it is very, very damaged.
Okay. Yeah.
The Baldwin House, which was home to a missionary, that was like a historic spot. It was home to a missionary who spent a lot of time and effort vaccinating a lot of Native Hawaiians against smallpox when it was first introduced to the island. And the old Lahaina courthouse, which up until the fires, it had been a museum that had a lot of ancient Hawaiian artifacts, and all of that is gone.
Sucks.
Yeah. And again, with a lot of people being displaced, a lot of people losing their homes, possibly for good. We really wanted to talk about this a little bit. And we also wanted to point you guys to a resource if you care to donate. So the Hawaii Community Foundation has a fund called the Maui Strong Fund, and it provides financial resources to be quickly deployed. Right now, they're focusing on providing food, shelter, and immediate financial assistance to the Hawaiian people and those who need it. So we're going to have a link when we post this episode. We're going to link on our social media. I don't know. Can we get a link in our Spotify descriptions or anything like that, or no?
I could try.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
I think I can.
have things
Yeah.
in there.
We'll
I'll
link
fucking
it.
around to find out.
Yeah. We'll link it wherever we can for you guys to donate if anyone cares to donate to this fund. There's a lot of people really struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And they, obviously they're not getting the help that they need from the government. So
Yeah, I found the numbers for that, by the way.
Did you?
So, yeah, for FEMA, they were just approved for $3.8 million of assistance to 1,640 households, including 1.57 million in initial rental assistance.
why does that sound like nothing?
Because I just said that we just donated $76 billion to Ukraine. So, by that comparison, it's a drop in the bucket, knowing that the U.S. has way more money than that.
Jesus.
But fuck its citizens.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For real.
Yeah, because we pay taxes for something.
Yeah, like a step under welfare.
Do you guys remember when Donald Trump forgot that Puerto Rico was part of the United States?
Well, I mean, it's not one of our states.
No, but it's a territory.
Didn't we sell it?
Puerto Rico?
No, I don't
No.
know.
No, we sold the Philippines.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it was Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Logan Paul's whole fucking crime corporation runs out of Puerto Rico, so they don't have to pay taxes.
A lot of companies do.
Oh, yeah, remember
lot
when
of
Puerto Rico got
companies do.
fucked up and we didn't do anything for them either?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That happened
That was what, 2 years ago?
a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're great.
Yeah,
doing great.
doing fucking great.
Oh man.
Thanks. Good job. Man.
Have
Good
you
job.
have you
America.
tried Logan Paul's like energy drink?
No.
No.
I like Red Bull. I'm pretty faithful. to that.
I drink the amino acid energy, so I don't.
I went to a coworker's birthday party and her little like nephew he drank like 3 of those while I was there.
That's unsafe.
Yeah.
Little bastard.
He was like, they're so good. He was like losing his mind.
There's like what, 200 milligrams of caffeine in them shits?
I don't know, man.
Each?
He was like 7.
It's a little, God, man. I don't know. We had Surge growing up though, and that shit wasn't safe either. So I guess it's about comparable.
That's true.
We had 4 Loko for a while.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. Actually, it's funny when they came back out with Four Loko.
And there was no caffeine in it.
Yeah, my buddy Bill. Shout out to Bill because I know he listens to us. He actually owes me a bet where he has to shotgun one. It's been in the back of his fridge for like 3 years now.
Ew.
It's a tough one, Bill.
Well, we also stopped drinking, so I'm pretty sure that Four Loko's gonna fucking kill him if he shotguns
it might
it.
give him a heart attack.
It might kill him.
You might need a defibrillator after you do
Like
that.
his liver's going to explode easily.
Yeah, just do it at the hospital.
It's awful.
Just at the front door.
Yeah, walk into the hospital.
Just shotgun it.
and then
Fucking Four
shotgun
Loko. I'm gonna need a cot.
And I'm dead.
Help. Ah, goodness. Anywho, we have to end on something lighter than that. So yeah, check out our we're gonna have it linked on our social medias for that charity. So if you do have any extra, feel free to donate. Help the people out. Help your fellow American.
Yeah, we're all broke, but a couple bucks from a bunch of people. goes a
Yeah,
long way.
we may be
does.
broke, but at least our houses aren't burnt down. So
Yeah,
It
exactly.
could
And
be
there was,
worse.
I was watching some of the videos and TikToks about these people, and geez, they've just gone through it, and they're just so struggling right now. It's awful. It's awful.
So yeah, if you can help out, this is the first time we've actually done like any kind of charity work on this podcast, and I think it's definitely for a good cause. So if you got a little extra, help them out. Help out your fellow American.
Yep.
Anyways, on that depressing note, we appreciate you guys listening to us. If you're new here, please give us a like and follow on your favorite social media, or give us a follow on your favorite listening platform. We're on all of them, I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah.
new episodes every week.
And we're posting more TikToks.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're going to be we have some new merch out. We're going to be doing some photos with that here soon. So keep an eye out for that, so you guys can get your new required taste merch. We're going to be coming out with some new content soon as well. Keep an eye out for that. We're coming out with a pretty much like a sister show. So we got going on here,
Yeah.
but like kissing cousins.
We'll get more into that probably next episode. I think.
probably
Next episode
yeah.
we're gonna have way more detail about that. Just keep an ear out for that. We, as always, do appreciate all of your support because we would not be doing this without you all. And y'all be cool.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.